Hello and welcome to Biz Chicks TV. This is the place for tips, tools, strategies, and everything that you need to take the hassle out of your hustle so that you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. And today is Friday, which means it's Tech Life Weekly. And we always start our Tech Life Weekly off with a little bit of tech history. So, in light of the fact that it is Black History Month, we're going to talk about a few uh, African Americans who have made a name in tech history. And we're going to start with Annie J. Easley. She was a Black NASA scientist and a leader in tech. When she began her career, she was only one of four Black employees out of 2,500 at the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics. That's the NACA, which was the precursor to the NASA. She started as a human computer, but when the real machine computers came out, she dove into learning assembly language and Fortran. She became a computer programmer, working on a variety of projects, but her most famous work was on the Centaur rocket, a first of its kind rocket that used a unique fuel system. Its legacy still endures to today. She's had a long career. She had a long career with NASA, working on extremely advanced technology while overcoming Jim Crow laws and discrimination. Our next person in tech history is Frank Green. He is often hailed as one of the first Black technologists. He developed high-speed semiconductor computer memory systems in the 1960s at Fairfield Semiconductor R&D labs. He would later go on to start two technology companies of his own. He also founded a VC firm called New Vista Capital, which focused on minority and female-led companies. His legacy as a technologist and an investor lives on today, and he's also among 63 inductees in the Silicon Valley Engineering Council's Hall of Fame. Hey, Terry, come on in.
Good morning.
Good morning. We are talking about little Black history in tech.
Mm-hmm.
Our next person is Valerie Thomas. Valerie has had a strong interest in technology early on, but didn't receive any support for it until she attended Morgan State University. She was one of only two women in her class to major in physics. She excelled at school and landed a job as a mathematical data analyst for NASA. She worked at NASA from 1964 to 1995, conducting large-scale experiments, developing computer data systems, and most notably spearheading the development of the first satellite to send images from space. Landsat. The technology she developed is still used by NASA today.
Wow.
And I even have a picture of her. Let's see if I can present this. Okay, I may not be able to do it. Let's see. I need a window. Where's my window? I might have to do this on a different. I'm working with a new system today.
Oh my.
Yeah, so I do have a picture of her. I'll try and get it up for us in a
Okay.
bit. It says select a tab to share. I don't want the whole screen. Yeah, I'm going to have to pull that up. I don't know why I don't see it. Possibly because it's over here on Chrome.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'll share it later.
You can find her while we're talking.
Yes. So Okay. And the one other person that
Okay.
we're going to talk about today is Clarence Skip Ellis. Um, a native of Chicago, Clarence Skip Ellis was the first African American to earn a PhD in computer science. He earned his degree from the University of Illinois at Urbana Champaign in
Mhm.
1969. While studying, Ellis worked on hardware, software, and the development of ELIAC 4 supercomputer. He had a long career at major tech companies like Bell Telephone Labs,
Mhm.
IBM, Xerox, and more. At the Palo Alto Research Center, where he worked from 1976 to 1984,
Mm.
Ellis spearheaded a group that invented Office Talk. It was the first office system to use icons in Ethernet to allow people to collaborate from a distance. Ellis was a real pioneer in this field of operational transformation, examining the functionality in collaborative systems, which is found in computer applications today like Google Docs.
Ah.
Does that make him the grandfather or maybe the great grandfather of remote work? Perhaps, but either way, Ellis has had a hand in shaping the technology we use today. And we will continue on throughout this month talking about different um, African Americans in tech history.
Mhm.
Now, I want to share a story of tech making history. Um, and that's in the news right now. So we all know about AI and how AI has been used for everything. Well, here is a story that came out yesterday. Um, the FCC bans the use of AI generated phone voices in
Mm.
robocalls. While anti-robocalls rules existed already, the new rule, effective immediately, explicitly covers AI deepfakes and will make it easier for the FCC and state attorney generals to prosecute robocallers that use AI voices. And the question is, why now? Well, the updated rule comes after a robocall using an AI deepfake of President Biden targeted Democrats in New Hampshire, urging them not to vote in the state's primary. The Biden deepfake appears to have been made by using a tool produced by a 16Z backed 11 labs. It took investigators 2 weeks to determine that the calls, which went to an estimated 20,000 people, allegedly came from a Texas based company that had been hired to conduct robocalls by federal and political action campaigns in previous elections. So these people used a voice clone of President Biden, which told don't vote in this one, uh, vote in the next election coming up, but don't worry about these primaries. And it was a um, fake. You are muted, Terry.
Yeah, I saw that article. Good morning, Mark. I saw that article and I was just like, wow, suddenly this is a priority. But we've been getting these robocalls about everything and its mama for how long? And
Yeah,
allegedly there
yeah.
was some kind of fine for people,
To use those. So what it is let me go over to the other story.
because I know why it happened, with the whole thing with New Hampshire and the election and them
But
giving out fake
yeah, the point,
information.
yeah, but the point wasn't the fake information.
It was the
The
use of Biden's voice, right?
Exactly.
Mhm,
That was
mhm.
the problem. It was definitely using his voice, and we've seen where you can make somebody sound like, and we
Yes.
saw this years ago. um,
Mm-hmm.
here on
Them
our
biz
Tech
chicks were
Live.
right.
We talked
Yeah.
about it. We were like, wait a minute, how you just going, you only have
Remember
to
when
say,
they did the thing with Obama? They
right,
had him saying stuff.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And it says here, um, this story comes from Tech Brew. It says recently, Tech Brew recently spoke with a call platform, TNS, about how much audio is needed to make a high quality voice clone and how to fight back against audio based scams.
Mm-hmm.
Common audio sources include voicemail prompt messages and responses to phishing robocalls, according to Greg Bowl. He says it takes as little as 3 seconds of your voice to go ahead and duplicate it, he said. 3 seconds of your voice. The ideal situation is a little bit more time when you start saying, here's my address, or I didn't make that appointment. And when you start getting sentences going, they have you.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody can snag your voice,
Yes.
it can, and this is now different in the sense that um, you would think, okay, they're just going to clone celebrities or political leaders and stuff like that. But if they can get you to say certain things and give consent to certain things in your
Mm-hmm.
voice, that's what they try and do. So it's a
Yeah.
new way to steal your identity.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
I was like, wow, very, so we need to be mindful. I we're looking into what things can be done to prevent things of this nature from happening. So that is your week in tech history and tech making history.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Well, oh, there's just so much.
Yes, Mark has got comments. Terralina is giving Tachi competition in her earring game. He loves it.
Yes, we love earrings.
Yes, and Mark said, I'm a human computer in desperate need of a defrag.
Bless his heart. Oh my
So,
goodness. I got a couple of stories I do want to share.
okay.
And I think let me see if I can bring this up, Fran. Let's see. Share my screen. And this is the one I want to talk about right here. I can't pronounce her name. Kismikia Corbett, an African American woman, is praised as a key scientist behind the COVID-19 vaccine. Can you see her? Fran, can you? Oh, let me
Yeah, I
add
can
this.
see her.
Oh, okay, I didn't know she was on the screen or not.
Yes.
Um, I guess all these little things are coming up. It says here, Dr. Anthony Fauci, the nation's top infectious disease expert and a constant presence on TV during the coronavirus epidemic, was asked a blunt question during a forum last week by the National Urban League. Can you talk about the input of African American scientists in the vaccine process? So he, in turn, began to talk about that the very vaccine that one of two that has absolutely exquisite levels, efficiency of 94 to 95 efficiency, effective against the clinical disease, and almost 100% efficacy against serious disease that are shown to be clearly safe. That vaccine was actually developed in my institute's vaccine research center by a team of scientists led by Barney Graham and his close colleague, Dr. Zamikia Corbett, or Kizzy Corbett. I like that because we all remember Kizzy. Fauci told the forum, Kizzy is an African American scientist who is right at the forefront of the development of the vaccine. And I don't know how much we knew about her. She also was essential in the development of this vaccine. If you remember, the first person to actually take the vaccine shot was an African American woman, female nurse. So I just wanted to say that, you know, these things are going on all the time in the background, and we need to know more because it's an encouragement to people to go into fields that they are not normally seen in, to let them know that there are some forerunners who have been, what would you call it, instrumental in this area. I mean, this remember, COVID-19 shut the country down for almost 3 years. Thousands died, and here is the woman who helped develop the vaccines. So I thought that this would be a nice thing to share during Black History Month. And so there she is on the screen. In addition to that, I want to talk a little bit about um, James E. West. He invented the electric microphone. Did you talk about this morning, Fran? You're muted, honey.
No, I did not.
Okay, I want to make sure I wasn't being redundant. Okay. Um, so the article over on the History Channel talks about the fact that in the vast majority of microphones used today, including microphones used in phones and cameras, use a microphone co-invented by a Black man, Dr. James E. West. He was tasked with creating a more sensitive and compact microphone while working at Bell Labs in 1960. Along with his German colleague, Gerhard Sessler, West invented the foil electric microphone, which was considered less expensive to produce than a typically used condenser microphones. 2 years after it was invented, the final model of the microphone was developed, and in 1964, they patented the landmark invention. Only 4 years later, the new microphone was in wide production and was being used in, are you ready for this? Hearing aids, tape recorders, most telephones, and even baby monitors. And I thought that was phenomenal. I had no idea that we were so instrumental in the development of this technology that's used by us every day in things like our phones. And I am just stunned at some of the things that African American inventors have contributed to. Uh, and I wanted to make sure that we talked about that during this month. Also, there's another inventor that I want to share with you, Mark Dean. Mark Dean was an inventor during the years of 1980 to 1999. Before that, flat screens and high definition LCD monitors were the norm. PC displays were limited to screens with no color that was tethered to computers with limited processing power. That all changed thanks to Black inventor and engineer Mark Dean. Dean began working for IBM as a chief engineer in the 1980s, making up a team of 12 people who would develop the first IBM PC. In addition to helping create IBM's original machine in his early years with the company, he also worked to develop the color monitor and led the team that developed the first gigahertz processor. The massive chip built in 1999 would allow for higher processing rates at faster speeds within PCs. And I think we have a picture of him. Let me see if I can share my screen here. Share screen. There he is. And there he is. Color IBM PC monitor and gigahertz chip co-invented by Mark Dean.
Wow.
I know, I know. It just blows your mind um, how instrumental we have been to the tech industry, to communications. And I noticed that a lot of these Black inventors were hired by Bell Labs, you know, which I found really interesting. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. Um, I don't know if we have time for another story, but
Um, I think TJ is not in here yet.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
So then,
So I do have. I will go ahead and then we'll. There's some tech that we still got tech making history that I can
okay.
talk about. But go for it.
Okay. I just want to talk about one more automatic elevator doors invented by Alexander Miles in 1887. Okay. The use of elevators in everyday life keeps people from facing long climbs, stairs, etc. However, before the creation of elevator doors that close automatically, riding a lift was more complicated and risky. Before the automatic doors, people had to manually shut both the shaft. Remember that rack that comes down in some of the older elevators? And elevator doors before riding. Forgetting to do so led to multiple accidents as people fell down elevator shafts. As the story
Whoa.
goes, I know. As the story goes, when the daughter of African American inventor Alex Miles almost fatally fell down a shaft, he took it upon himself to develop a solution. In 1887, he took out a patent for a mechanism that automatically opens and closes elevator shaft doors, and his designs are largely reflected in elevators used today. And yeah, so here is a picture of Mr. Miles. Let's see if we can get him up on the screen. Distinguished gentleman. Automatic elevator doors invented by Alexander Miles, 1887. Wow. And this is important to me because I can remember when my brother was going to the University of Pittsburgh, they have a building and the elevator goes up several floors and then it ends up at the tower. And at the top of the tower was the computer um, lab where all of the electronic databases were. And he would take this elevator up to his classes. And he almost fell down the shaft because one time the doors opened and there was no elevator there. But one of his friends grabbed him by his shirt and pulled him back because, we take it for granted that the cage is going to be there. Um,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? So I can imagine how many lives the ability for the door to shut automatically must have saved.
Right, because people would have been walking through like you,
And
like
bam, yeah, you're out. Or people playing around, you know what I mean?
not paying attention, just walking. And now with people doing this, walking off
Really.
into something. Yeah.
Mm, mm. So
So
that's what I wanted to share today.
okay, so there's one other thing that I forgot to talk about
Mhm,
tech making history this week, which is major. We've been talking about it. I don't it and it's making history because it's not done before. Apple has got a new product out,
mhm,
and it is the Vision Pro. And the Vision Pro hit the market officially on February 2nd, 2024. And I believe this might be the major thing that has come out since the iPhone.
mhm.
There has been a lot of talk about it, pros, cons, pros, but it is the Apple Vision Pro, um, and I got a chance to demo it at the Apple Store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so a lot of people, Marcus Brownlee, he demoed it and he said it was kind of heavy, you know,
Mm-hmm.
have the cute strap that comes with it, because it really does have a cute strap that comes with it. It
Yeah.
looks better than the other the other devices of its kind. And in contrary to what people think, it's not a VR headset. It
Oh,
is
okay.
a spatial computer. It is a spatial
Oh.
computer. It is
Yep.
not VR headset.
Nope. Not at
And
all.
and so I was able to put it on and it was quite comfortable. Now I have a MetaQuest 2. I don't have the 3. I have the MetaQuest 2 and I put it on and that is it. Okay, that thing gets heavy after, you watching a movie for a minute, you be like, okay, it's time to take this off, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so I was thinking, okay, well, I put the Vision Pro on. It didn't feel heavy to me at all.
Oh, maybe
Mm-mm.
that's one of the advantages.
Well, it didn't feel heavy to me at all. And
Uh-huh.
they, for some people, it might be heavy. And so they give you two straps to put on. So I had I had just the one. Well, they wouldn't let you use the other strap, so you just use the one,
Mm-hmm.
the cute one that came with it. And so it is amazing inside
Mm-hmm.
there. I I I had a I was able to compare it to being in something called immersed inside the MetaQuest. This is so much better.
Oh.
You go in and you can actually use all of your apps. The apps are from iPhone and iPad apps are inside there already. So your
Mm-hmm.
email, your messages, everything that you would normally be doing is inside there. And so I saw a guy yesterday on YouTube where he had it on in New York City going down
Mm.
the street because you can see through the thing. It's you have it
Wow.
on, but it you
Yeah.
can experience
And we talked about this Tuesday. Remember, I told you I saw online there was somebody like New York City. There was somebody on the subway wearing it,
yep,
wearing it and doing this.
yep, that might have
Another
been that
lady
guy.
got in the pool. Yeah, another lady got in the pool. She said, "Do not do this. It's not waterproof." But she
Okay.
put the battery pack in the back of her head. She secured the wire because there's a wire that goes to the battery pack to the Vision Pro, and she secured that, and she was in the pool doing her
And
thing.
right. And he was on the guy that was on the subway. And now with the movement on the subway doing this, it
Mhm.
sometimes it didn't do what you couldn't
Yeah, it
have
was a little
screens open
jerky. Yeah.
because
Mhm.
you're moving and doing some other stuff.
Uh-huh.
But when he was standing there waiting for the subway, he was watching YouTube videos full screen
Wow.
inside the thing, and but he can still see what was happening. He can still tell when the train
Mhm.
was coming.
I was
Right,
gonna
because you
say,
could
yeah.
see through it or not. Right, you can
Mhm.
turn it to where you
But
don't or you do.
it has the same crown that you would have on your watch,
Right.
so that you can turn it to where you can be fully immersed in wherever it was. And their full immersion videos, they had where this girl is climbing rocks. Now
Uh-huh.
they gave me a disclaimer. Now in the fully immersed, there are heights, there's underwater, there is, and
Right.
so
So if you're afraid of heights,
because they
it's
took me
going to
right.
it's right. It's like you're right on the top of Mount Everest or wherever.
Oh,
So if you
wow.
don't want to be on Mount Everest,
Don't
You
don't
don't
do this. Right.
Mhm.
no, because I was like, whoa. And I had to remind myself, I'm sitting in a chair in the Apple store. But because it was, and this girl, she's walking, I was like, how is she doing? It was, you were in the mountains.
With her.
Yes, way up high. I was like, whoa, don't move, friend. Okay, we're in the Apple store. We are not really on this mountain. Uh,
Mhm.
but it was a very good experience. I mean, and they when you put it on, you sync your eyes
Mhm.
to it, because when you look at something, like if I wanted to open the photos, I just looked at the Photos app and pinched my finger and the photo app opens. I was like,
Mm.
Right, and then you said the person told you that you don't even have to do the hand movements if you don't want to?
no, you don't have to have, oh no, you can do voice movements,
Right,
or you don't have to have your hands up in the air. You can just have your
right.
hands in your lap and do this.
And I said I would use voice because I love doing the
I
voice thing.
just
Yeah, and so it opens things. It You can watch 3D pictures in there. I'm not sure if I would use the 3 photos,
Mhm.
but if you wanted to relive a family moment,
But
it
see,
will,
remember we were saying that I said this the medical use is and the health use is off the
that part.
charts. Medical, not medical, mental health stuff with
Mhm.
Yeah.
visualization, with therapy,
Yes.
helping surgeons practice surgery because like you said, your eyes are you think you're in there. So you
Right.
know how surgeons, if you watch any medical shows, they have to practice and they have to do this and that and that.
Yes.
So they could put that on
Right.
and
Mhm.
practice any it's like think of a flight simulator, like a pilot has a
Ah,
flight simulator.
that's a good analogy. Uh-huh.
It could be practice for medical, it could be practice for law, it could be practice for a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And
Because you
that's
were,
where people were thinking like, oh, well, the Met what is the MetaQuest? The Meta has their thing. And I was like, this is not that.
mm-mm,
If
it
you
is
have a
not.
phone, this is your phone. You're wearing your phone. It's not a gaming device. It's
It's really,
beyond that.
and you can make phone calls from within there. You
Mhm.
can have the,
Write
like
documents,
FaceTime.
write code, talk to people. You can video call, you can FaceTime, you have an
Mhm.
avatar. I saw the thing today that there was a complaint about the avatar looking kind of fuzzy. They've already improved that.
Right. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, okay, this is the first one out the gate. I can remember the first iPhone coming out, and it did not have a camera.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, did it have music on there? I don't even
I'm
know if the
not sure
music,
what it
I
had.
don't think so, because
because it was limited.
yeah, then they came out with
A lot of
the
things we have now is because of the first phone in the App Store.
And
The things we have now wasn't on the first phone. So
right.
and the invention of the microphone. But go
And
ahead.
there are people who are, well, in the one article that I read, or I watched his review, it's just like, well, there are no people in here. You're in here by yourself. And
because
I'm
it's
like,
not the metaverse, you dummy.
and you're in here by yourself, and it's I'd rather be out there with people. I'm like, okay,
That's
whatever.
why I tell people, I said it's your phone and
Mhm.
you're wearing it. That's the
Right.
best analogy.
The best way to describe it. And I
That's the best
think that's good.
instead of this,
Uh-huh.
You're in here. You're
it's
right in
this.
here.
You're wearing it.
And if you wanted to talk to somebody, you can. You just need to turn and look at them, or turn the little dial. If you were immersed, you just turn the little
Mhm.
Your
thing,
Mac
and now
book,
you're
instead
back.
of holding it and carrying it around, it's
It's here.
here, people. That's what I was trying to like. It's not metaverse. And anyway, the
I am
metaverse
so
isn't going to
glad
be a
you
thing anyway.
explained that, Terry.
That's
I'm
how I mean, listen, simply. It
mhm.
is these
Wearing your phone.
AR, VR, that confuses people.
It
They
does.
saying it's your
It's
phone and then you'll be wearing it. That's it.
it's spatial computing. It is
I
not
But
love
when
it.
you tell people
AR.
that they don't get that. But if you
Right.
say it's your phone and you're wearing it, it's your laptop and you're wearing
And
it,
you're
it's your
wearing it.
iPad and you're wearing it,
You're
they
wearing
get
it.
that. It's
And
not
it's
the
gonna get
metaverse.
it is
Mhm.
going to get smaller.
Yep.
The ski goggles is what
Mhm.
they most resemble ski goggles. The ski goggles are going to get smaller.
That's why I said it's Jordy from Star Trek. Everybody knows Jordy.
Right.
Mhm.
The guy with the
No
Everybody
wraparound
knows Jordy.
glasses.
LeVar Burton.
yeah, he
What
wore
what did he
the
look like?
The wraparound
and
That's
it
glasses.
what
was
it's going to be.
it's going to be nice and light and whatever, but they had to start somewhere. And some people were, well, if you wanted to do this and da 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 da, I was like, y'all need to go sit down somewhere.
They
We got
gonna
to
do the
start
same
somewhere.
thing with the iPad. I remember the rollout of the iPad. Jokes galore. Fun. Who wants an iPad? Who asked Apple for this? Now, people that try to take the iPad from them.
You're not doing that. And
So
here's
listen,
something.
I said I want one. I'm trying to figure the room, doing the numbers and crunching this and that. Like, okay, let's get into it.
And so here's the other thing. What he went into a donut store. I didn't know y'all had Krispy Kreme in New York City. He was in Times
A
Square.
long time.
He was on his skateboard. Look,
I
he's
had
on
one
his
yesterday.
skateboard. He's on his skateboard with the Pro
Vision Pro.
and he's on his skateboard skating down the street. I'm like, okay, so he can see everything.
Right.
And he went in there, he got him a donut from Krispy Kreme and was eating it. Now with the MetaQuest, I could not eat because you can't see where stuff is. You can't pick up. They made it better now. The pass through is a little better, but you still couldn't pick up stuff and be able to maneuver. With this, you can pick up stuff, look at your phone, and do.
That's why I played the video last week when it came out from the guy was CNBC.
Yes.
And he had the lady on from Wall Street Journal, and they were talking about they didn't want to come out of the thing and how they loved it. I'm just saying.
I wouldn't pay $3,500. We are not talking to you.
Apple is not for everybody, and the people that have it now are the beta testers, really.
So. Right. And
I don't know what to say.
I'm with TJ. I'm gonna try and figure out how to wait. I mean, how many?
I'm trying to,
get one.
I got tuition bills and stuff over here first, but
But what is going to happen is they're going to get better, and the prices are going to come down, and some people can say, I remember I bought the first iPhone and I still have it. That's
why they lined up and Tim Cook was there shaking their hands. And listen, it's not a toy. People thinking it's a toy. That is gaming.
I think that is really the impression
it's not a toy.
They gave. And I think if they had said something simple like you did, Terry, there would be more understanding.
They probably get paid by the word, or they're on TV. They want you to listen.
And Apple, when it came out, they never said it was for gaming.
No,
when they did
people assuming
because it has the goggles. You know what I mean? That's what they associate the goggles with.
See, I watched Good Morning because I don't watch it all the time, but this time I saw Robin Roberts, and she went to Apple. This was like 6-7 months. I forgot how long ago it was. And she said that Apple invited her, which was very smart, to come and test it out. And they showed her in the room, and she put the thing on, and then afterwards she could not speak. She's a journalist. She's got like 30-40 years of knowing what to say. She was like, I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. It's so amazing. And I was like, okay, Robin Roberts said it. I'm there. I
was like, wow.
So
so Terry, so on first Mondays we are in Seasons 52, which is on the Garden Fair Mall. Well, Apple Store is literally around
it
is literally walk out the door, walk around the corner. And you could go into the Apple Store. I was like, let me book it. You had to book an appointment. You couldn't just roll up in there. So I booked an appointment. I'm like, while I'm here, I'm going to test this out. I was like, oh my gosh.
See, I will have to have cash, the whatever in my funds on my card when I walk in to do the demo, because I know I won't be able to leave. I can't leave without it. So I already know me. I already know I'm gonna be.
I saw somebody with a white bag and a box.
Exactly, right. And you do. That's why you got the. Apple is very smart on how they market their products, and the value is there. And I hear the argument, it's $3,500. Who has it? Lots of people have it. Lots of people have discretionary income. So I don't fault those people that have it. If you don't have it, you don't have it. Everything is not for everybody. My mom told me that, and I stick by it. But you have to decide what you want to do. Is this something you want? Well, pinch your pennies. If you don't want it, ignore it. Anything that I don't care about, I ignore it. Taylor Swift stuff, I ignore it because I'm not her fan. So anytime there's something, people are complaining, she's on the news, just don't turn it off. There's an off button, guys. What's wrong with your finger? What's wrong with your voice? Because your TV is voice control now. Turn it off or turn it down. I don't understand the fact that people got to come in and talk about things where they know they're not going to buy it and they whine and cry, and I don't have time for that.
And I think there's some people who just have to have an opinion about something.
Carlos said, "My TV." No, I know my TV doesn't either. The remote has buttons. I'm just saying, there's a off switch.
Right, if you don't want it.
Trigger. You want your device, your phone, your assistant.
Mark said, I want one too. Please feel free to contribute to TJ's and my GoFundMe.
And we make jokes, and seriously, I'm like, okay, I got other things that's got to come ahead of it. But if I didn't have anything to come up ahead of it, you would be seeing me. I would be right now wearing this thing on camera. That's how much I would be into it.
Go fund us. Put something in there.
You know,
and there are some people. Now. There are some people. There are some people who got it, gifted to them.
Yes.
For them to try it out and to use it, but then they bought their own.
Apple gave this the Wall Street, the journalist from Wall Street Journal that we saw last week in the video. She was gifted one because they were like, "Here, you're the tech journalist for Wall Street Journal
reporter. Yeah,
here you go. Try it out, run it through the paces, and write a story." And that's what they did. So
I'm like, woo. Carlos said, "Ooh, I leave it on 24/7. Didn't know it could turn off." Talking about his TV.
What kind of Con Ed bill do you have?
I take showers with my Vision Pro. Can't stream that. You're funny, Carlos.
So I follow a lot of tech people, and they've been.
There were people who were pushing it to the limits, and you knew they were. There were people who were so Tesla has an auto.
Did you see the guy? There was a guy. There's a video with the guy wearing his Vision Pro in his Tesla, and the Tesla was self-driving, and he was doing this with the Vision Pro, and I was like, no, that's a bridge too far.
That is a bridge way too far. And whoever the guy is, Buttigieg, whatever his role is now with the federal safety or something, he was like, come on, y'all. You're going too far.
Common sense.
That waiting for a sky. Okay. Carlos said they're waiting for the skydiving video. It's coming. Waiting for the skydiving video using Vision Pro. Because
when I saw the kid on the subway, I was like, okay, there you go. I wouldn't do it. Not me. I would not wear it on the subway.
Yeah, because
I would not leave my house. Honestly, not in New York.
And see, the cool thing is you can go outside. Yeah, that was the other thing with the Meta Quest. You cannot go outside.
And that's why I brought up the video of the lady in her pool. She was like, she wanted to go in her pool and work. And she said, I don't recommend this because the battery, because she had it in the back of the elastic part and it could fall out. But then she just gave some people ideas to make accessories for you to go in the pool.
Right.
To stick that thing on the bag. And so these are the things that are coming out. These are the things that happen, but this is what happened with the iPhone. When the iPhone came out, did it have a bunch of accessories and things? Every time there's a new iPhone, they got to design the case or the this or the that, or they have the extra battery, or they have, like I use the pop socket. This, they didn't have this. Here's the pop socket. There will be an industry surrounding the Vision Pro.
Right.
A Gucci case, a Louis Vuitton case, a whatever designer case, this case, that case, a new band,
Because
a new this. And
there
Apple
is
knows
a
that.
case. Apple has a case for it. It's
Mm-hmm.
another $200 for
Right.
the case.
Right. But see, I'm saying
You
somebody might want to design a Hermes
uh,
case, and Hermes will make it.
exactly. Somebody's going to come up with another case that's cute with
Mm-hmm.
places to put stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to cause a ripple effect. They
But
already
that's
making
because for
stuff.
every other Apple product, it has happened. I mean, I'm not faulting these people that have it. I'm happy for them. Just waiting my turn. So
Carlos is
I'm
asking when
not a
y'all
hater.
meeting. Carlos is
Soon.
asking. And then Mark said, "Hey Apple, give me one as an online influence. I have tens of followers, loyal followers. They won't buy it, but they'll enjoy watching me enjoy it."
Well, see, you gotta be Marcus Brownlee to get one, because they gave him one. Did they give him? They gave him one. I'm pretty sure
I
they.
don't know. I know he bought one for the office, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure. I know they allowed them to do some testing on it, but they finally got one in house.
Okay, because I'm thinking like he would have said if they, but the TV anchors had them. We saw the video last week. They were gifted or loaned, or I don't know what the process is, but they didn't go out and buy
Right.
one because the host
But they
asked
got
the
the
lady from
budget.
Wall Street Journal. Mm-hmm.
But they got the budget for it too. You know what I mean? Because it is an office device if they wanted to use
They
it.
write it
That's
off. It's a tax write-off.
right. I'm
So
just saying. So that's the new
mhm.
tech making history because I was
It
like, this
is a
is
big deal.
history.
It's a big deal. Think about when the iPhone came out. I knew that was a big deal. This is a big deal. So we're in an AI world.
So so it was the iPod first, right? Well, no, the
Mhm.
computer. It was the Lisa and then the different computers
There's a
first.
progression with tech. There's a progression with electronics.
Exactly.
So we talked about the VCR and we talked about other things. There's a progression, people. And for some reason, it's like they all want to hate. I'm like, why are you hating? Yes, there are some people that can buy this. There are some people that go to Tahiti once a month. Are you mad with those people?
No. Do you know how
Why are
much
you
the
mad with the
VCR
Apple people?
the first VCR came out? You know how much that thing cost?
Thousands.
$4,000.
Thousands.
$4,000. I was like, what the?
So I don't understand why you get mad because they can afford this when there's people going on vacations and having a great time every day of the week. Spending much more than $3,500. Going to Disney, I heard, is like astronomical with a family of four. You're not mad at those people. I don't get the anger. And I don't think it's
Uh,
price
is
because of the price.
amazingly. I think it's priced. I think he's saying it's priced
But it's
amazingly.
Apple. When does Apple give you anything that's, I
Look,
won't say cheap?
Apple has a computer tower that's $6,000.
Yeah,
They're
I
not
wanted that
talking
thing when
to
it came out, and it didn't come with a monitor.
mm-mm. And it was not they were not
I
talking
wanted
to
it
the general public. They were talking
for
to
editing, video
developers
editing.
and
And
yeah,
studios bought that thing. Businesses bought that thing. Anybody that needed that level of computer power for video editing and video production and animation, they all have it. That's why
right.
Apple makes things for them, and they're not gonna put it out for $100.
Carlos said they're just mad that Samsung didn't come up with something. Okay, we're not going to
So
do
I
the
don't get into the price, the this and that. Either I have it or I don't. Either I want it or I don't. I know the value of it.
right.
So I'm never mad at Apple. Keep doing
I
your
was
thing,
just
Apple.
right because we got nice tools because of you.
Keep doing it. Keep doing
So,
it.
It's your turn,
And that's
TJ.
all I gotta say.
Woo. One day we might come in here and do
Now,
our
when I come on here on a Friday and I have mine, don't say anything.
Woo, we'll be all
No,
Oh,
up in there.
do the that, do the this, so the confetti stuff that comes down, or yeah, there you go, there you go. Do that when I show up with mine, because
Okay, we'll do it. TJ,
okay.
I'm
woo.
putting it in the air.
All right.
Somehow
We're mad at you.
I
We are
don't have to
not
worry about
mad
the
at
house and
you,
the
TJ.
wives. Mark says, what does he say?
Let me see what Mark got going on. Mark got jokes.
Oh,
He
he
said,
does.
I
Yeah,
don't even wear over the ear headphones on the subway.
I will wear them sometimes. Like if I'm with my daughter or my family, I don't wear them because I when I'm on the subway, I'm this.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
like,
trash. I'm like, and now we got this is off subject, but we've got new subway cars that have the doors, no doors, so you can see all the way the length of the car, so you can see when
Oh,
something's coming your way. I'm like, I love that.
that's
'Cause if I
good.
see something coming my way,
Mm-hmm.
Carlos got jokes too. I
I'm
love that I
going
can
the
sit in my
opposite way. Oh, Carlos.
Carlos said, I love that I can sit in my bathroom with my Vision Pro and drive my Tesla outside. Oh my gosh.
We got jokes. But we live
Yeah,
in a technology world, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So
we do. And there's more tech coming, and there are the other people, oh, we can do this too. I saw something that came through. I was like, what is a visor? And they were talking about it, how they could, you can do what you can do in a Vision Pro for less
no, you
money. I
can't.
was like,
No, you can't.
knock off.
No, you
No.
can't. Apple often imitated, never duplicated.
Mm-mm.
So we're gonna leave it at that. So
Yes.
there
So
you go.
TJ, what do you have for us for social media?
Well, let me see. What do we have this week in social media news and updates? A lot of AI, I know that. All right. So this week in social media news and updates, let's see. Do we have any Snapchat news? Well, Snapchat had they've gotten rid of 10% of their workforce. I think they know that, but they don't have any like app updates.
Okay.
So we'll move on to LinkedIn. LinkedIn is rolling out new AI features to make networking easier. LinkedIn has introduced new AI powered features to improve the networking experience on the platform. The new features use AI to streamline processes like making connections, searching for jobs, and sharing content. So they say they have a redesigned net excuse me. They have a redesigned network tab with two sections called Grow and Catch Up, aimed at helping users expand their network and stay updated on existing connections. Now, the Grow tab utilizes AI algorithms to help users manage connections and find new relevant contacts, which is the whole purpose of being on LinkedIn. You're networking with people in your industry. Okay, so it provides personalized suggestions to the people you may know feature. All right, 'cause LinkedIn already has a feature where you if you went to a certain college or you worked at a company, they already have that. You may know these people, but they're doing this in an AI way. So I haven't seen it, but when I see it, I will definitely try it. Now they have a catch up tab that promotes users to reconnect with their network based on updates like job changes, work anniversaries, new hires, or birthdays. This aims to encourage more meaningful interaction between users. Now, they also have a premium feature that helps users compose introductory messages when initiating conversations to address the blank page problem. So that's what they're calling it. So the blank page problem is really when you're in a document or you're in an app and it says, the little box where you type in something, you're like, well, what do I put? So a lot of people are using AI for that. So they're using that to start conversations on the platform. This tool provides draft messages tailored to both parties by incorporating information from their profiles, which users can customize to reflect their voice and goals for the conversation. So this is the AI part where it is coming up with ideas and you don't hit send. You go in and you're going to customize it, you're going to edit it, you're going to say, well, I wouldn't say this word or I wouldn't say it this way, and you write it. But it's a conversation starter, which is a lot of people need. So that is what LinkedIn is doing. Any comment on the LinkedIn?
Uh,
Nope.
Not really,
No.
but I'm beginning to use LinkedIn a little bit more to,
Mhm.
you
There's so
know.
many apps, so many things to do, and like I said, LinkedIn is one that's on the side, and we forget Pinterest, and so we need to talk about them more. I think Carl, no, did Mark have a comment?
Yeah, Mark has a comment here. In connection to these amazing technological advances, it is a reminder to us all about how impossibility is first made possible in our minds. And that's on his podcast today. The
Good.
4 minute
We need
mark.
that. We need that.
The
We
four
need that.
minute mark. And then Carlos said, I wrote a template on how I introduce myself to the entertainment industry heads, and it works quite well. I keep it in my notes app and I send them messages that way.
Very good. Very good. I use the notes app for that stuff too, like things that you want to use over and over. Just use an app, copy and paste, and go about, roll on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's go on to Blue Sky. Blue Sky is now open for anyone to join. So it's been a year as an invite only app. That means someone had to invite you. So Blue
Mm-hmm.
Sky is now open to the public. Blue Sky was funded by Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey. It's one of the more it's gotten a lot of talk since Twitter does the things that it does and did. It's been over a year. So Blue Sky had about 3 million signups before opening in the public. So I think I read something about they got 1 million signups this week or something. I'm not sure because I'm not joining Blue Sky, and I'm just like,
Wasn't there
So go ahead.
wasn't there terms
Yeah.
of service suspect, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
A little
mm-mm.
sketchy. A little
Right.
sketchy.
Because I
So
did get an invite because I was on the list, and they said, "Oh, you can now come on in," and and I was like, "Yeah, I don't know."
Me too. I think so. I forgot all about it. So what is it about Blue Sky? Blue Sky looks and functions like Twitter, but it stands out because it is more a decentralized infrastructure like Mastodon, and so there is, let's not get into technicalities, but it's open source, open code. There's no one company that owns it, that kind of thing, even though they're saying that it's funded by Jack Dorsey, so he's kind of like the owner. We won't get into decentralized yet, but it's coming. And so
Yeah,
it's an open code. It's basically like on the back end for the developers that they can do a lot of things. And this is important because Meta has done some things this week that have upset this group. So Blue Sky CEO Jay Grabber said what decentralization gets you is the ability to try multiple things in parallel, so you're not bottlenecking change on one organization. The way we built Blue Sky actually lets anyone insert a change into the product. So it's not like you have to have an API, and then the company shuts the API down and you're left out in the cold, which is what Meta did. So let me go to Meta. So
yeah.
Meta has cut off third-party access to Facebook groups. So they have a new change to their Facebook Graph API that interacts with Facebook groups. And they announced that they will be depreciating the older API. Why is this big news? Is because the older API allowed third-party apps to schedule into groups. And a lot of businesses and a lot of people were scheduling into a group. So with the new API, Meta said, we're getting rid of it because you guys was using it to private message users, which Meta has a thing about if you have a page or a group, you can't message a person through the group. You have to message through the app Messenger.
Right.
See? So this is why they're changing the API, but this is causing trouble for some people. So one person, Adam Peterson, the CEO of Cloud, which provides a suite of tools for scheduling social media posts, said the API closure will have a noticeable impact on his business. And he says his company serves some 5,000 Facebook accounts, primarily those belonging to female entrepreneurs. These customers rely on Vibe Cloud access to Facebook API to publish publicly to their Facebook pages, but also post privately to groups in communication with the team. The private groups are used something as a Slack alternative by these small businesses. So see, we're getting to the meat of it. Meta has discovered that you guys are using this tool like Slack, and they're like, not for free, you won't.
Mm-hmm.
Slack is free, but you I think after 90 days it doesn't archive, something about it doesn't archive, and you have to get the paid version. Something about Slack. So people are working around, not, well, I'm not gonna pay for Slack. Let me go over here to Meta because I can private mess. So these things that they've been doing, Meta is weeding out. Now we can say, well, why would Meta do that? Because, well, there's no ads running in the groups.
And why would they let you just let somebody else come in their house and have access when they don't have access?
Yeah, Meta is tightening up the rope that was open, and I've said this a long time that you was riding that free train, using it was going to end, and now it's ending. So if you're not running ads, Meta doesn't want anything to do with you as a business. Sure, you can post to your page, but they're not going to promote it. They're not going to do anything for you. Now, if you run an ad, they're all over you trying to say, may I help you? Yes, come this way. Here's the maitre d', that kind of thing, because you're going in a 5-star restaurant and you're getting ready to drop some money. So of course, the service is like excellent. But if you're going to McDonald's, you could just go up to the kiosk. You don't even have to talk to a person. You can get your thing, and that is about level of service. So a lot of businesses are going to be out of business because they relied on this API access, which Meta has shut down a lot of their API over the past several years. So they're just closing the loopholes.
And Meta is not the only one.
Yeah, Meta's not the only one.
Yeah, so why are we surprised?
I think, was it Twitter that did something to API?
Right.
Reddit did something because it costs money.
Yep, it does. It costs them money.
So if these companies are laying off people, trimming the fat, it's because they're trying to get more profit and revenue for the shareholders. So whatever can go, can go.
Right. So if
it's not. See, this is the thing. It's like a lot of businesses have gotten used to everything being free on social media, and I talked about this a lot. Yeah, it was free. It's been free, but now we're moving into, subscription. You want to do this? Subscription. You want to do that? Subscription. Because they've seen, and then when I say they, I mean all of the platforms, because they're companies. They're not charities. They're not here to help you. They're companies, publicly traded companies. You can buy Meta stock. You can buy Pinterest stock. You can buy Snap. That means they're corporations. They operate as a corporation first. They're not here to, you're not showing off. You're not doing it. You used to do this for free. Well, we're a business, so we got to make money and make the shareholders happy. So they're doing those things. And business has been done that way for hundreds of years. So just because social media is here and it was free, now the free door is closing, almost closed shut. And if you want to do things, you're going to have to figure out to pay, or to, you pay the plumber or you fix it yourself. That's the best analogy I can give. You got a house, you got a leak, you call the plumber. I don't know what to do. You call the plumber and you pay, or you go to YouTube. Well, let me figure this out because I'm handy and I got the right tools. That's what it is, really. That's the best way I can tell you. So Meta is doing what Meta is going to do to, get more revenue and cut down the cost of this, that, and the other thing. All right, so let's go on to Instagram. Wait, let me see. Is there any other Meta? Oh yeah, Meta had this. Meta has an update to help teens on its platform combat something called sextortion. Now, I don't know what this is. I haven't heard of it. So we are going to learn this together. So they have some update for teens. Now, they've been working on things and they were up before Congress about um what's going on with minors, and they were grilling Zuckerberg and holding his feet to the fire and telling him to apologize to the parents who were there with the pictures of their children, and that's what's going on. So now Meta has something called Take It Down. It's an online tool that helps it's run by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and they have some kind of sex torsion hub, and they're trying to launch a global campaign to raise awareness about sex torsion. Now, I haven't heard of this word before. If anybody has in the comments, let me know. So it's something about, so Take It Down is going to prevent the spread of non-consensual intimate imagery. It's available in 25 languages. It launched in English and Spanish last year. It allowed teens to take back control of their personal intimate photos and prevents ex-partners and scammers from spreading them online. The system can be used by people under 18 who are worried that their content has been posted online. It can also be used by parents or trusted adults on behalf of a young person who's under 18. And so there's some kind of system you go through, and it Meta will find copies of the image or the video and take it down. Oh, excuse me. So it's available in a bunch of languages. It was available last year in English and Spanish. Now it's more in languages. But Meta has a sexportation hub, and it has guidance for teens on how to take back control if someone is targeting them, and it also helps the parents. So I had never heard of this term. Has anybody heard of this term, sextortion?
Never.
I think they need
S-
to rename it so we can at least say it.
yeah, sextortion. Now I think I know what it means. I didn't get a chance to look at it, but there was a thing where especially the girls and young women, their imagery, say they send something by now sexting, I know, like that's the texting, and they might have sent them a photo or something trusting the other person, and then the other person shared it online publicly or something like that. But I didn't know that this is what they're calling it, so I didn't get a chance to look up the word. But
Mhm.
I'm thinking that's what it is. So Meta is trying to combat that with some tools, and they're working with this National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. So I'm thinking this is a way for them to have the person or the parent say this, is a minor, or this was without my consent, take this image down. So that is what Meta is working on. But I was just like, okay, I haven't heard that word.
Right.
I usually see all the words that Gen Z is using.
But I don't even
Yeah.
think Gen Z made that word up. I think
No,
some
I
I
think
think
that's.
Meta made that.
I think it's something adults made up
Yeah,
right.
but it
because
doesn't
it sounds like the exploitation of any kind of sexual
imagery and
exchange,
video, right? But I'm like,
graphics.
who made that word? It's clunky.
Thank
Yes.
So
you.
it's not
Hmm.
something that Gen Z would make.
And it sounds legal, like
Yeah,
legalese.
yeah, legally. So this is what they're doing. So they have a tool to help young people have video and imagery taken down if it's
Hmm.
something that is intimate in nature and they didn't get permission. So
Yeah.
yeah, that makes more sense.
Hmm.
All right, so let's go on to Instagram. Instagram is testing a new option to preview your feed post placement before publishing. Now, there is a tool. Let me see if I can find it that I've used. Well, I have it. I haven't used it in a while. It's called, let me see if I can find it. UNUM. UNUM. And it's an app that connected to my Instagram and allowed me to look at the grid. And if I was before I put the image on Instagram, I could look at it in this app and see what it would look like in my profile grid.
Hmm.
You with me? So
Yes.
Yes.
And this app has been around for a while. I haven't used it. It's on the phone. I would have to re-download it, but I haven't used it in a while. But Instagram is taking that concept and putting it in, testing, putting it into Instagram. So before you hit publish, you would see how it looks on your profile, because some people care about the aesthetics of their profile. Like, if I put this post up, what does it look like in the grid on my profile? I don't have time for that, but some people do. So they're testing this, and so it's to view how your feed posts will look on your profile grid before you publish, so you can ensure that each update fits into your overall IG aesthetic. So it's called a show preview button within the post composer process. So you will tap on it. It will give you a preview of where the post will fit into your current profile format, including pinned posts. So it would make it easier to decide, well, I'm going to upload this, and how would it fit into my little puzzle grid on my
Okay, I have a question. Will it let you put it anywhere in the grid, or you just put it?
But see, that's the thing. This is a test, so I'm not sure how it does it. But when you post on Instagram, it's the most recent post. There's no way to rearrange it.
Exactly. So I was like, well, how is that?
This is for people that are concerned about the look of things. And I'm like, we're way past that. It's about messaging. For business owners, it's about messaging. Is this the right message for the right people at the right time? And will they interact with it? And will they go to my call to action and buy something? That's all we care about. I don't care what does the profile look when they tap my profile.
Mark had a comment about what your previous story.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he said it's the same category as revenge porn.
Now that makes more sense. Revenge porn, not sextortion. Sounds like contortion. Get it together, man. You can tell the age of the people that's doing these things.
Yeah.
Because Gen Z, they will come up with a term that's like, oh, that is nah. Like, how do you guys come up with this stuff? But yeah, so that's what's going on with Instagram. Now Threads, decide what's happy about. Posted on my Threads. I went to Threads to post. Threads is testing the ability to save posts. Finally. Instagram Threads is getting a highly requested feature that puts it in closer competition with X. And this is from the story. It's not putting in closer competition with X.
It is not.
It is not. It's just a bookmarking feature that's very, very, very needed. So what it is the experiment with the ability to save posts, so you can bookmark saved posts to revisit them later. Instagram has this. I don't understand why I had to add Adam and talk about it, and people were liking my posts. It's already in Instagram, the process to bookmark. Why can't you put this in Threads? Because what it is that I see a lot of things in my not my following, my For You, when I go in, of people I'm not following, and I'm like, okay, I like what they said there, and I go to their profile, but I don't want to follow them, but I like that post. I had no way. You have to follow the people, and then if you follow them, where's the post that I like? Because I don't like their other posts. I had the screenshot. Found out that that's what everybody was doing as a workaround. So what's going on? I got a whole bunch of screenshots, and I forgot about them. I'm like, okay, now I got to go into the section that says screenshots, and what was this about? I don't remember. Now, if there's a bookmark feature, you can just tap that little button, and it saves in your bookmarks. And then you go, what was that post I saw last week? I can't remember the person, but it's in my bookmarks. Ta-da! So they're finally rolling this out, but they're saying they're doing a limited test, which is the part that I don't like.
Yeah, because I was looking for it. I was like, "Where's the little tab?" Because
all right, let me tell you. So users with the test can find the new save feature under the 3-dot menu in the top right corner of a post. Now, this article, I agree with. They said they don't know why Threads decided to hide the feature in the more options menu. This Instagram has a bookmark icon easily accessible next to the like, comment, and share buttons.
Okay, I might not be worthy because my three dots did
I
not
know.
give
I
me a
didn't
place.
even check. I didn't even check. I know I'm not in the test.
I was like, I'm not worthy. Where's
After
my?
I at after I at the CEO, he like put that girl on the put that woman on the list for not getting it.
Mm.
Right, because I can hide,
So
mute, unfollow, or report. I cannot bookmark.
I didn't even check. I don't have it. I don't have it. So but it's here. So they're doing their rollout the way that they want to do, and there's nothing I can do but wait. But it's here finally. Okay, so that is all the stuff from Meta. Let's get into some AI stuff. All right, Microsoft.
Mhm.
Microsoft has redesigned Copilot for the web and mobile phone. Now, what is Copilot? Remember Microsoft being their alternative to Chat GPT,
GPT,
the
yes.
generative AI tool, and then they changed it from Microsoft Bing Chat to Copilot, and now they have this whole set of things under the branding of Copilot. All right, so Copilot has a more designed streamline on the web and in the app. Now I haven't checked either. I will later. They're doing this ahead of the Super Bowl because they have some Super Bowl ad that's coming out on during the Super Bowl.
Oh.
And yeah, so the article said that Microsoft debuted the AI powered Bing chat a year ago this week. The company says that so far folks have taken part in 5 billion chats, generated 5 billion images through its various co-pilot experiences. That was that's the doll E part of Bing chat where you can go in and say, make me an image of a cat eating an orange, and it would, whatever whatever text you put in.
Yes.
So now it's Copilot. So I have to remember it's not Bing Chat, it's Copilot, Copilot, Copilot. So they've got a whole marketing rollout for Super Bowl on Sunday. So they have decided to spiffy up the look of the app and the web. And they also have Copilot Pro. What do you think that Copilot Pro is about? The paid version.
Of
Like
the
ChatGPT has a paid version. So
Mm-hmm.
here we go. Microsoft says they have Copilot Pro. Now, this Copilot Pro subscribers, and I think it's $20 a month. The subscribers can resize images between landscape and square formats, and you can do all kind of things. They'll have a designer GPT, which is copying what ChatGPT, because they have custom GPTs. And so they're saying that all of the stuff inside of Copilot Pro will provide users with an immersive, dedicated canvas inside of Copilot where you can visualize your dreams. Don't they make it sound so great? So I want to see where this ad is. It's probably on. They put a lot of the YouTube ads, the Super Bowl ads. Some of them get released before Super Bowl. You can go watch them on YouTube. So Microsoft is doing that. Now, OpenAI is adding new watermarks to DAL E3. Now, I think I've talked about this. Here we go.
right,
So they will add watermarks to image metadata. And there's some standards, the C2PA, which is some coalition, and so they're going to put watermarks from the C2PA will appear in images generated on the Chat GPT website and the API for the DAL E3 model. Mobile users will get the watermarks by February 12th. They'll include both an invisible metadata component and a visible CR symbol, which will appear at the top left corner of each image. Now, Meta is doing this. Meta rolled out their AI image generator out the bat with the little symbol on it.
right,
Now, they said they were going to do the invisible one. I don't know if they have. It didn't come out this week. But OpenAI is saying we're going to put the visible watermark and the invisible one. Now, what does the invisible one do? So people can check the provenance. This is an important word when it comes to AI and blockchain. So there is code that can be tracked and it's invisible. So they will do it, and it look like they're going to do it by this C2PA, Coalition for Content Provenance and Authenticity, which I have to do some more investigation on. But so OpenAI says adding the watermark metadata to images represents a negligible effect on latency and will not affect the quality of the image generation. And so it's trackable. Think of it as an air tag. That's the only way I can put it.
Okay.
It's an air tag on the image.
So,
As soon as you make that image, they know they can track it if they need to. And this is because this is coming from the Biden administration executive order on AI. Remember, they had this big meeting with Sam Altman and all these other AI companies. This is one of the things that came out of it. So also there was something this week, or was it last week? Something about robocalls that were generated by AI telling
yeah,
people not to vote.
we talked about that this morning.
Okay. So these things, along with Taylor Swift pictures, the Pope pictures, remember that? All of these things that people are doing is going to rope all this in.
Right. So y'all ain't just gonna be out
Now
there
you messing with the government, you messing with the will of the people, you're messing with the voting process, you're doing stuff that's illegal. So these companies, they already met. Was it last year they met with I think it was Vice President Kamala Harris?
At the end of last year, yeah.
These are things they talked about. They didn't tell us what they talked about, but they talked. So here are things. Once you start messing around with government processes and laws and legal, then this is what happens, people. Your stuff is going to be tracked. Invisible when you can't remove it. Now the watermark, you can try to crop. Yeah, try. But there's an invisible watermark, people.
Right.
So this is what OpenAI is doing. Now, there was one thing in this story that concerns me. That they're working with this C2PA, their metadata can easily be removed accidentally or intentionally. So that's what I'm looking at.
Why would they're
gonna have to close that, whatever that loophole is. Now here's another thing that I didn't think about. Taking a screenshot omits the metadata. Now this is another thing.
Wow.
It does
Nobody
what?
thought about that?
But see, there's the visual watermark. Unless you see, somebody has to really want to do this. Okay, I'm gonna take a screenshot. I'm gonna crop out the thing. I'm gonna paint it with some stuff, and I'm gonna have AI generate over the one. When you do these things, people, OpenAI is just gonna go, "Oh, you gonna do that? We got another thing we're gonna put in there." So that might be that might be your thing to get around it, but they're gonna close that loophole too.
Yes.
So, but that's what I'm saying. That was the only thing that concerned me, but because it is this C2PA coalition, which I'm like, all right, so let's see what else is coming down the road. But this is the deal. I was like, oh yeah, you could just take a snapshot, but then you have to go in and get rid of the watermark visually. But who got time for that?
Well, the criminals.
Yeah,
apparently.
the criminals do.
Okay, so I have a quick question. So OpenAI is funded partially by Microsoft, who owns Bing.
Yes.
So technically the Copilot situation is an offshoot of OpenAI, or OpenAI is being used in the Copilot.
But see, that's I don't know, but what I think is internally within OpenAI, they have a Microsoft division and they have an OpenAI division, and those two don't talk. They might share certain code, like common code, but I think OpenAI has their, you're a Microsoft, you're working on the Microsoft part of it, you work over there. You're working on the OpenAI part of it, you go over there.
Right.
And they talk about, they talk about certain things, right?
They're getting like Procter and Gamble, and then they got Crest over here, and whatever
Microsoft
the other
is giving all this money, so that's the Microsoft side over there.
So they're still okay. You got Crest toothpaste and AIM or whatever,
but it's all toothpaste.
It is all toothpaste under the same thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
when they're in the factory, when they mix it, but when
It's
it comes
toothpaste.
out, there's a Crest side and they split off, and that one
Mhm.
gets the branding of Crest, and that one gets the brand. That's how it works. That's how I think it works. I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
I'm just saying.
because they still in the same pool. They're
Right.
still in the same pool.
Right.
And okay, I'm gonna let you go ahead because I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what's going on with OpenAI. That was the one concern I had. Now let's move on to YouTube. YouTube says podcasters can now upload their RSS feed to YouTube and YouTube Music. So they're saying that you can podcasters can submit an RSS feed to YouTube. You go through YouTube Studio, and they're saying when a new episode is added to the RSS feed, YouTube will automatically upload the video to the channel and notify subscribers. So YouTube is trying, their podcast stuff. So this is one of the things that they're doing. And let me see. I have one more from Google. Did we? Yeah. So one more from Google. So Google AI now goes by a new name called Gemini. So their Bard, Duet AI, all the things that they had. So this is another branding, like Microsoft wrote everything in the Copilot. So Google goes, okay, well, we're gonna call our stuff Gemini. So everything goes under that. So again, they're gonna have the branding of Gemini. I believe they also have some video that they might drop for the Super Bowl, or they dropped it already. I didn't get a chance to watch it. So that's what Google is doing. And then, of course, they're going to have a Gemini Advance, and that's going to be $20 a month. But they're going to give you 2 months free.
Instead of paying. Okay, everybody
Yeah.
is
So
going to
it's that.
pay.
So ChatGPT has a free tier and a paid tier.
Right.
Microsoft Copilot has a free and a paid. Microsoft Gemini now has a free and a paid. So that's what they're doing.
Oh, Google Gemini, right? Not
Google
Microsoft.
Gemini. Yes, Google Gemini.
Right.
Now let's throw Apple into the mix. Apple's working on a new AI powered editing tool. So they're gonna add this to iPhones later this year. It's unknown. The details are unknown. They're just saying that it's going to have a feature where you can edit your photos, with AI. You're just going to write text. You have a picture. Say you take a picture and there's something in the background you don't want. You can tell the AI to remove it. It's going to be in the phone. Now, CEO Tim Cook, he said AI tools are coming to its devices later on this year, but they didn't give any specifics. So there you go. That's what Apple is doing.
No, we
And
have.
yeah. So one more from TikTok and then we're done. And this one has to do with TikTok and was it Universal? Is it Universal? Yeah, Universal Music Group. Remember, they took down all their music. A lot of it was Taylor Swift. Remember, there's a lot of Swifties. She's big this week because of the Super Bowl. So Taylor Swift fans find a unique solution after the music was pulled from TikTok. So they, of course, rightly upset. So what they did was the Swifties went on TikTok and made covers for the other Swiftie fans of her songs. So some of the good musicians who are Taylor Swift fans have made TikToks of them singing her songs. And they're telling the other Swifties, here you go, put this on your videos because they can't use Taylor's music because it's been pulled.
But you can use my music.
Right.
Okay.
They're singing a song.
So it's not a matter of who owns the lyrics.
Well, I mean, they're really, it's cover songs. They're really supposed to get permission, but who's coming after them? They're already mad.
And Universal ain't going after all them kids.
Yeah, they're already mad. So, this is what the community does. If there's a community that loves a certain celebrity, they do what community does. They help each other out. So some of the good musicians who can sing and play guitar or whatever have done some covers of her songs and told Swifties, use this because now remember the videos don't have any music on it because the music's been pulled. And when you go to TikTok, it will tell you this video, that video, that video. And if you got hundreds of videos, what do? And I'm a Taylor Swift fan. I don't like anybody else. But you got to put some music on it because you dance. So the video is just you dancing in the silence. So the Swift fans have gotten together, the ones that can sing and play music and have done covers and said, hey, Swifties, put this on instead of somebody else. So there you have it.
Wow.
And that's your social media update for this week.
Woo! We have had a lot of things going on, and we want to thank all of you all for joining us today on this Friday. There's going to be more to come because more history is in the making, more social media stuff is happening, people are making moves, and we want you to be informed. So come back here next week. We'll be right here to do some more. And then let us know what new tech that you are working with. I want to talk about something next week. I'm checking out a new browser situation, and I'm using it today. So we'll talk about it next week. And let's see what's going on.
Oh, there's one thing I want, because I know Dr. Tasha's not here, but there's a media story because we just talked about Taylor Swift. Her Eras film, her concert film is going to Disney Plus, I think.
Yeah, because it's on it. I think it's on there because I saw it on the Apple TV lineup, so it might be on the Disney Channel.
Yeah. Oh, they're saying it's gonna debut March 15th on Disney Plus.
Okay.
I also saw an article about Disney, ESPN, and Warner getting together regarding sports.
I think they're making a channel or something. I didn't get the details
they're
on it.
Supposed to be merging to form some kind of channel because they
channel
basically have a monopoly on all the different sports.
Yeah.
Well, they got Fox and NBC Sports too, so I don't think
but
they don't have quite a monopoly
channel.
But they have ESPN is out right now. ESPN is a part of Disney already,
So then the Warner is joining them?
I don't know. I know Fox Sports is. I don't know if Fox Sports is in on that, but we're gonna look into. We'll bring that story back again and do some research for it.
Yeah, what it is it's Disney, Fox, and Warner Brothers. They're saying it's a new streaming joint venture that will make all of their sports programming, including ESPN, Fox Sports, and TNT, available under a single service.
Shut up! That's major.
Yeah. So that I heard that, but I didn't get the details. So
that's football, basketball, and then all the ESPN has all the other sports.
Tennis,
has football, and TNT has basketball. During the basketball season, so that's gonna make a lot of woo.
Yeah. So they're saying they're calling it a mega service. The price is going to be announced. It'll be available to ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Max subscribers as part of the bundle.
Ooh. Okay. Which also means that some people are going to be a little miffed because it just took it away because they just departed from the cable company.
Right.
ESPN is no longer kind of part of the cable situation.
Right. So that was just a little bit of media stuff. I remember the Taylor Swift. Since we had talked about her, so she's big news this week. I don't think she'll be big news next week, but
well, she'll be big news. Well, after
her community, yes, with her community, but I mean like the public at large.
Oh, okay.
Who don't follow her.
Okay, well, she'll be on there Sunday. She'll be
famous this week after Sunday.
She's on tour this week. Yeah.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that if you don't follow Taylor Swift, you won't be inundated anymore because the Super Bowl will be over. The season will be over.
They're concerned about people using her voice because of the election, and she has a lot of followers.
Yes, that will come up. But I'm saying the big spectacle that everybody's complaining about is over because the game will be over on Sunday night.
Right.
Back to regularly scheduled programming.
And go Niners. Just saying.
I don't have a team in the so
Okay, we're
I
in
say go
California.
Usher. I'm watching for Usher. Go Usher.
We got teams we're in California, so we're gonna have to go with the Niners.
Yeah, I say go. I'm there for Usher. So
For the halftime show.
Mhm.
Okay, guys.
All right.
All right, we want to say thank you for tuning in. I don't know why my thing is not working, but anyway, thank you so much for tuning in this week. We will see you next time. Um, remember, we're here to help you take the hassle out of your hustle so that you can build a profitable business that is fun to run. And we will see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye
Thanks
bye,
for
everyone.
watching.
Bye bye.
See you soon.